a blind piano player, wrestler, long-distance runner, and a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions across the U.S., are here to tell their story of their unique and incredible journey together. Welcome to the Nancy and Mike Show. Nancy and Mike will engage you with some of the most unimaginable and heartwarming stories of their extraordinary life. So please welcome your hosts, Nancy and Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show, God Inspired. Today's date is August 15th, 2026. And this is show number 55. I don't remember mentioning last week about number 54, but I like to keep track of my numbers. Because you know I'm the numbers guy.
Yep.
Now, one thing before we do our show today, it's something I have never seen, but I think it's a wonderful thing.
Ooh.
And it is something that Donald Trump is doing. And what it is this. He's trying to primary the bad senators out. And what I mean by a bad senator, it's what you would call in a biblical term a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's somebody who pretends to be what he's not. He pretends to be a Republican, but he's really a Nazi. And one thing Nancy Pelosi did with the Nazis, she made them indivisible. Now, there's a new deal going on with the Nazis, with the socialist Nazis, the DSA. Now, DSA, I call it the deep shit of America. And that's essentially what it is. And
what does somebody else call it? What does
somebody else would call it the Democrat Socialist of America, which is the same thing that I said. Okay.
I understand.
Now, here's the deal with this. I don't know if this could happen. It would be good for the country. But people are talking about the DSA dividing the Nazi party.
Yeah, because there's some different groups that are definitely not on the same page, and yet they seem like they are, but they're going to start splitting.
But here's the problem.
What?
Are these people who are dividing, how are they going to vote in the midterm?
Yeah, that's important.
And if they say we're not going to vote Republican no matter what, that doesn't help anything.
Right. But it's good if they start separating.
Yes, it is. And when Nancy Pelosi united the party, I don't like her, but to take a party and make it indivisible like she did, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do that. And I wish that Trump could do that. He's trying to do it by getting rid of the bad, the rotten part of the Republican
The
Party.
ones that aren't sincere.
The rhinos. They call them rhinos. I don't know how that term came
I don't know how
about.
that came about, but anyway,
But
we know the meaning.
This is what they call them. They pretend to be one thing and they're something else. And how do you know that? You know that by the way they vote.
Yeah.
The evidence. Evidence doesn't lie. And yesterday,
Yeah.
uh, Nancy got to see this prayer group.
Oh, yeah. I told you something was going to happen yesterday. It was last night, 7 o'clock Eastern,
It
and
was
I
in
was able to find it on the computer.
it was in Ohio,
And
and
they had a lot of good ministers, and they were speaking, and it was extremely intense.
yes, it was. And while Nancy was listening to that, I was watching the Little League regionals. The Little League World Series doesn't start until August 19th.
Well, I just want to say some people try to correct me. I was watching it on the computer, and Mike was listening on the TV. But we basically, Mike and a lot of most blind people just say they watch TV. So just to get things clear, but I was watching it on the computer, not listening.
And I remember when we were living in California, we were living in Indio at the time, and there was this article that covered that subject. It was very interesting. Uh, and the article was about how to talk to blind people.
Yeah,
Very interesting. And they said, talk to them like you talk to anybody else. Uh, and I've had people uh, talking to people who don't know this, and they would say, "Oh, you didn't watch TV yesterday. You can't watch TV."
I know people have corrected me too, but I say no. You talk to blind people just like they had sight. They watch TV, they watch the football game.
No,
That's how they talk.
these people don't have malicious
No,
intent.
just don't know.
They just don't know.
I was saying that the girl who helped edit Mike's book and helped us with different things about publishing a book, we knew nothing. So she said, what Mike is doing, he is attempting to bridge the gap between sighted people and blind people. And just today, I told Mike about that, and he said, "Well, I don't know if I'm doing it, but you are doing it. Just this show is helping people to know, hey, blind people are regular people. You talk to them like regular people. It's no big
Well,
deal."
that's true, but I can't really bridge the sighted world because I don't know anything about it. I know about my world,
Yeah, so you're talking about it.
and I could
That's
talk
helping to bridge it.
I could talk about my world, but I can't understand your world. I cannot in any way, shape, or form understand your world. I remember one time we did a show. I think it was the number 76. So you figure now this is uh
Yeah, well, that had different numbers. It's starting
that was a
over
different
with it.
radio channel, and we got a long way to go to get to 76 with this channel.
Well, anyway, I was asking someone at the girl prayer group that Mike, when we get out of church, he has to feel around the car to find the door. And it's been sitting out in the sun, and
I can't touch it.
he can't touch the car. So
Even the
I did
inside of the car,
put
the outside
some
of the car, it's just too hot. It's
I put some gloves in his pocket, but they're winter gloves. Someone said at the prayer group that I can buy some little cotton gloves for people who need to keep their hands. Her husband burned his hands, so she said I could get that at the drugstore. So I'll get that, better than those gloves that are thick with little snowflakes around the edges.
yeah, it's 95 degrees and wearing winter gloves. It's better than nothing, though. I will
But
tell you
Mike,
that.
see, Mike, because he's blind, has to touch everything. And that was that one show we were talking about touching your glass and touching how things feel rather than what they look like. That's
Yeah,
your world is touching.
and that gets into one of the things I was thinking about talking about today. because last Saturday was our anniversary,
Yeah.
and I was kind of tired after the radio show, and I was tired because I have to concentrate. It's deep concentration because I don't want to make a bunch of mistakes. It's just part of my deal where I want to do a good job, and it sometimes it wears me out, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, what happened last week? Well, of course, you want to go out to eat on your anniversary,
Yeah.
or
I wanted a nice romantic place where we could sit down and order, look at the menu. And so, what did I do? I went to McDonald's. And then, thank goodness, she knows me. You know me. I'm nice, I'm polite, I'm thoughtful. She loved my heart, no, my necklace of a cross, beautiful necklace that Mike's parents gave me. And she knows me because I always say it's so nice to see you. Susan, I remember her name, and she likes me. So when she sees me waiting, she said, "Hey, what happened to those well done fish sandwiches?" And they said, "Well, the cook said we made it." And the other guy said, "Well, I remember putting it in the bag." And then it's almost going out to the car drive through. Ooh. So because of my friendliness and we're liking each other, she looked out for me. It almost went out the door, out the window.
yeah, and maybe nobody orders fish the way we do.
And
Uh,
then at a church the next day, the preacher is talking about how he doesn't like to make a big deal, but he's standing. He likes to go in and sit down, not go through the car where all the money goes. He said that's mainly through McDonald's, the car window. So he's waiting, and nobody turned their face to look at him. They were all facing the back or the car drive through window. So finally someone looked at him, but he didn't want to be a big like, "Hey, come on, what's happening?" So he waited and waited. So I just thought it was kind of funny. Our anniversary, McDonald's, and then the preacher said he went in the Sunday morning for just nice breakfast to sit and ponder, sit inside and not be in the car. And he had to wait. We both had to wait. Nothing against McDonald's. It's just the timing, right?
yeah, and I love McDonald's, but uh, we had discussed it earlier that day. Uh, After the radio show, what are we gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what I wanted to do. I wanted Long John Silver's. I love that place.
Which I went to, but their fryer thing was broken. So then I had to do something else.
Yeah, because they weren't available. For all logical purposes, they were closed.
They were closed.
And I remember one other time on Nancy's birthday, I was having physical difficulties, so what else is new? And I could hardly feed myself.
Oh, I remember that.
And it was during the China virus.
Yes.
And our friend Cindy came over for Nancy's birthday. We were living in California.
Yeah, good
And it was
friend.
2020. And I was having problems with my neck. I could hardly sit up.
I know.
And she was going to stop at Jersey Mike's because I love that place.
Yep. Oh,
A break.
we'll be right back. Stay tuned. This is the Nancy and Mike Show.
Mike Zorich, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths. He also won the Veterans Folk Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorick.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is a Nancy and Mike show. And what we were talking about when we left was anniversaries and Nancy's birthday. And what happened on this particular day, it was Nancy's birthday, and our friend Cindy was going to come over. And she's a wonderful friend.
Yeah.
And she still is, even though we'll never see her again. But hey, she's still a great friend.
And she made homemade birthday card and anniversary card for us.
Yes.
I love it. Every year. Perfect.
So anyway, getting back to what happened on 2020 during the China virus, and one thing,
What happened to Jersey Mike's? It was closed?
yeah, it
They're
was closed.
remodeling or doing something?
I don't know what that. Yeah, I think they were remodeling.
Oh.
Jersey Mike's was closed.
Yeah.
Now, Jersey Mike's, I like Jersey Mike's because I could get tuna fish there. And there are a lot more places in California where you could get a tuna fish sandwich than there are in Florida. In this state, you could count the places on one hand of the fingers of one hand.
So where'd she go to get that ice cream? I remember.
I think she went to Baskin Robbins.
Oh, good.
And it was okay, but it wasn't what I was looking forward to.
Well, neither was McDonald's for our anniversary.
You
but
know,
whatever.
I don't know how many people have this, but this is one of the things that I have, and I have to explain a few things here. My mouth gets into a particular thing,
Oh, I think other people do. When you're thinking what you kind of get, and then
and that thing doesn't exist. Okay.
your mouth is
Now, last week my mouth was set on Long John Silver's. Now, one of the things about me and Nancy, and this has to do with, you know, it's an interesting thing, my eyesight or lack of eyesight. I'm not interested in atmosphere. So I could go to Long John Silver's or McDonald's or Wendy's or someplace for our anniversary. There's one place I want to go to out here, but Nancy doesn't like it. And so I don't go because I didn't even know what Nancy could get. We've been there a few times It's a place called Mojo's. And my piano teacher said she went there last Sunday and she thought it was delicious. Well, the problem with Mojo's, if you pay cash, you have to give them exact change. If you don't give them exact change, they will cheat you. And I don't know how many people know that about them. They
Most
may
people use credit cards.
they might just take whatever they get. And if they get
My kids
cheated,
like to use cash.
they don't even know. Yeah, that's true. But getting back to the other deal,
Yep, I had to feed you the ice cream.
yeah,
I remember that.
I couldn't sit up to feed myself. I don't know what happened. Something happened to my neck. And but last week the deal was this: how when Nancy goes to McDonald's, she always orders 2 fish sandwiches and French fries, but one, which is mine, but no tartar sauce. I don't like tartar sauce,
And I do.
and Nancy does. So the
And they
deal
both
was
want it well done.
the deal was that if they had taken those fish sandwiches outside, somebody might have complained, "Where's my tartar sauce?" Now, for us, they would have had to make our food over again,
Yep.
and
And I already waited a while.
somebody might have been happy that, "Hey, you forgot my tartar sauce." And because a lot of people don't know that when you go to a restaurant, their job is to make the food the way you want it. And you could tell the waitress how you want your food made. I've been doing that since I was a little boy. Uh,
A friend of mine, when I went to the prayer group, her husband had burnt hands. That's how I found out about these white gloves, cotton gloves. So they went to uh, a restaurant, and everybody was treating him so nice. Can you get to this and that, and wiping the table extra clean and wiping other things around them? And then later they said, "Sorry about the white gloves. My hands got burnt." And they said, "Oh, we thought you were the restaurant inspector checking to see if there was anything dirty or any."
so that's what made them so nice. They thought it was the Board of Health showing up. Oh my gosh, that's kind of a funny story.
Right. And uh, his wife said, "Hey, you should wear the gloves more often." But that was a funny story. So now I'm going to go look for those white gloves to help you get in the car.
Yeah, I need something because we've got uh one thing it's hurricane season now, and I'm counting the days. It's 229 days of hurricane season.
But some sand from Sierra, some sandy dusty, is preventing that. So good for the sandy dust.
Yeah, amen. I think it's from
I'd rather have sandy dust from Sahara
from
than hurricanes.
is that from Africa?
Yeah, I don't know.
Boy, another thing about
Sierra dust.
a lot of these places, there are tons of earthquakes going on.
Serious earthquake.
There was a horrible one in Colombia last week. I
And just one yesterday, seven.
They're all a lot of them are over 7. I've never been in well, I think I was once in a 7.
Yeah,
And
we're from California. We know earthquakes. They make you feel like a little ant.
and when it gets over 6, it's serious.
Ah,
That's when you think people could get hurt or they could get buried alive or
yeah,
whatever.
I saw it.
And
Awful.
the first earthquake I was in, was February 9th, 1971. And I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, you weren't used to it.
I wasn't used to it. And the Nationals were coming up. And um, I was dreaming at the time the earthquake started. And I was dreaming that I was ahead 8-7
And
in a wrestling. Yeah.
yeah, I
It
think
was the third period.
you were close.
And we were standing, and I thought, I got to stay on my feet. I got to stay on my feet.
And
Be-
here your whole bed was shaking, right?
yeah, the bed was shaking. And then what actually woke me up was I had uh, barbells, which are weights, over my head on the ledge. You couldn't put it under the bed because under the bed, I would stub my toes on the weights going by because the thing under the bed came down to the floor.
Oh, so you couldn't put
So
anything.
you couldn't put anything under the bed. And it was like one of those little twin beds, they have in dormitories.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And so anyway, I had to get the weights and put them up on the ledge above the bed. And
Ooh.
if that thing fell,
Yep. It just rolled down. Rolled off.
well, if it rolled off, it would have hit me. I was laying on my back. It would have landed. One thing would have landed on my legs, my left leg,
Mhm.
and the other thing would have landed on my forehead.
No
You know
good.
where the bars were,
No, I like your forehead.
the weights
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
and I had 125 pounds on the
Shelf.
shelf.
Yep.
So the bar was 25, and I had 100 pounds, and I would do presses with it.
What did you do? Jump out of bed?
Oh yeah.
I have to.
Uh, I didn't know when that thing was gonna fall or if it was gonna fall. And I went over and I shook my roommate, and he said, "Go back to bed. It's only an earthquake."
Oh,
It was
he's
like
used to it.
6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I had never been in an earthquake before,
They're frightening.
and they're not anything that I would recommend to anybody,
No.
but they are horrible.
You know what?
And anyway, that's what happened with that. But getting back to this other thing, Nancy is more into, uh, she wants the atmosphere, and I'm interested in the food.
No, I like food too.
Nancy's interested in the food too, but
Like because I'm visual.
yeah, she's visual,
like
and atmosphere is a visual. So I understand that. It's so I could take an anniversary or a holiday and go to McDonald's or someplace like that. But Nancy would prefer a sit down place
Yes.
and not a fast food place for
Special
a
occasions.
special occasion. Yeah, I was gonna say a big event, but it was more or less a special occasion.
Yeah.
And anyway, when you get to be in your 80s, you don't know how many anniversaries you got left.
No, thanks.
So, well, you don't. I don't know.
Oh, I know.
And it's not that we want to die or anything, but we just don't know.
Yep.
And
But both our dads lived to be 90.
both of them lived to be
something.
94.
94.
But one thing, neither one of our dads were 95 pounds overweight
Yeah, that's true.
like I am. And anyway, that's where we're at. And Nancy's going to do her, we're going to go to a commercial pretty soon.
Right.
And when we come back, Nancy's going to do her wonderful thing.
We'll be right back. Nancy and Mike Show.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness. Unlock your full potential with limitless growth. Published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is a Nancy and Mike show, and Nancy's going to do her wonderful thing, and then I'll be back.
Well, I like this guy. I know he's the long time ago guy, but anyway, his name is Blaise Pascal. And he wrote, "Things human must be known to be loved, but things divine must be loved to be known." And I love that. So this is from our Daily Bread, and one of the authors that Mike and I, we had a book by him too. His name is Tim Gustafson. And the scripture is, Gideon replied, quote, "Give me a sign that it's really you talking to me." He's talking to God. He wants some proof. Come on, God, let me know this is you. So there's a man. His name is Jay. Let's see, where's the best light? Okay, Jay owned a Gideon Bible, and he was very analytical mind, and he wasn't so sure about all these miracles in the Bible. So one thing haunted him, the thought of faith that his friend had. So Jay offered a strange prayer request to God. He said, quote, "If you want me to believe you," it's capital Y, you, God, "then do something I can't explain," close quote. Okay, so one day he was looking for his Bible. He couldn't find it. And it wasn't like him to misplace things, especially his Bible. So he didn't ever lose track of things. So he drove in the rain to his teaching job at the University of Zurich. Stepping out of his car, he spotted a Gideon Bible on the wet pavement. That's strange, he thought. Picking it up, he noticed the Bible was totally dry, despite the rain. Something he couldn't explain. Whoa, that's pretty amazing. So, Gideon's Bibles are named because of the Old Testament hero of Israel. So you could look up this story. It's a really cool story. He keeps saying, well, I'm the worst in this family, and there's not enough soldiers. And so God kept testing him and giving him messages. And so he said, okay, let me make sure it's you. So he said to God, I will place a wool fleece on the floor in the barn, the flesh. I never know what that threshing floor is, but I guess it's in the barn. If there is dew only on the fleece, then I'll know it's you. So that turned out, and then he wanted the opposite, and God handled it. That is just God. God, uh, don't doubt-filled prayers aren't a pattern for us to follow, but they can, however, reveal God's character. And also, God has a good sense of humor too. Mike and I have found that out. So Gideon led a tiny little army to defeat a smashing victory, and Jay put his faith in Jesus, recognizing that his prayer had been answered by a loving God who does things that we can't explain. And I just want to say thank you to God. I went to vote, and as I'm
Wow.
pulling out of the parking lot, I look to my right, and here is an SUV backing up right towards my car. That SUV would have hit my passenger door. That's where this car was coming. I couldn't see who was in the car, but Mike knows I hardly ever use my horn, but I sure banged that horn hard and the car stopped. And I said, "Thank you, God," out loud. And then I drove. But whoa, that was pretty scary. And
You never know when you're going to be chased by a train.
yeah, just backing up. Who cares who's behind the car? So anyway, I just am glad our car didn't get scrunched.
Definitely would have totaled our car.
Yeah.
And, you get hit by a train, you don't know if it hits the passenger side, it could still affect the driver's side.
Yeah. So I'm very grateful that I wasn't in a car accident.
And I am too, because Nancy's still here.
Yeah, Mike wasn't with me. If that car kept going, he would have been hit. But I am glad the car wasn't hit. So that's about it. I can't think of much else that happened this week to me. I was happy you had a good piano lesson.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
And
and Little League. You've been watching Little League.
yeah, I
That's
watched the
fun.
Little League yesterday. There was a game that was really a good game yesterday between uh, New Jersey and Connecticut. You know, these games, these Little League games,
Uh huh.
there's a lot of mistakes in these games.
Sure.
There's a lot of walks.
Kids.
There's a lot of wild pitches, and there was one game I was watching yesterday.
Uh huh.
It was between Nevada and Montana, and the guy from Montana was still pitching, and he gave up 7 walks and 2 in the 3rd innings. And the Little League games are 6 innings. They're not 9 innings.
Why did they take that picture out?
I don't know. If you were in the major leagues and the guy
7 walks?
walked 7 guys and 2 in the 3rd innings, he would be long gone before that. But they have a pitch count in the little leagues, which I don't like. Uh, when you had, I saw another game, Massachusetts. They were beating Maine 8-0. This was the regional finals, and the pitcher from Massachusetts had, I think it was 14 strikeouts in 5 innings, which
Ooh,
is
that's
ridiculous.
great.
And they took him out after 5 innings because he reached the 85 pitch mark.
Aw.
And I was hoping that Massachusetts would have scored 2 runs in the last of the 5th. One thing the Little League has that I think baseball, the major league, should have is a mercy rule.
Yes, I think that's
And
kind.
I do too. And there was a guy who used to manage the Yankees. His name was Joe Girardi.
Oh, I heard of him.
And I don't really like him as a manager, but one thing I do agree with him on is he wants a mercy rule.
There should be.
A mercy rule is good because it helps the team with their pitching staff, and I just like it because
It's not rubbing it in.
it's not rubbing it in. It's the reverse, actually.
Kindness.
Yeah, there's actually kindness to a mercy rule. And but anyway, what I was hoping for is that Massachusetts would score 2 runs in the last of the 5th inning, which would mean the game would be over, so that pitcher
Would get
who
it.
threw 85 pitches would be credited for going the distance.
Yes.
And that's what I was hoping for, but it didn't end up that way. One other thing I noticed with the Little League, and then I'm going to go back to a different subject,
Okay.
is before games, remember how if you ever watched Little League, which I've been watching Little League since the 1960s. And one thing about Little League, what they used to do is the kids will say, my name is so and so. I play right field, and my favorite player is such and such, or my favorite food is whatever, or my favorite actor. They don't do that anymore.
Maybe they will when it gets closer to that.
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what happens when the Little League World.
I like that too.
I like that, but that's been gone in the regionals.
Too bad.
Getting into something else that Nancy was talking about with this Bible left in the rain. It every time she talks about that, it reminds me of an old story. It's not a true story. It's a dream I had many, many years ago.
I like your dreams.
And when I have a dream, I don't see anything. I have 4 senses. I feel, I taste, I smell, and I hear. There's no visual part of my dreams. I have blind friends who lost their sight later in life. They weren't blind all their lives, and they do have things that they can remember visually.
And in their dreams, they
And
can
their
see things.
dreams, they go back to vision, but mine don't.
Right.
But anyway, I had this dream
Yeah.
that Nancy remembers it, that we were walking and it was raining, and we saw this paper on the ground, and we went to pick it up, and it was hot. I mean, it was hot.
The piece of paper was hot.
Yeah.
Oh.
It had brownies.
It had a recipe on it.
It had the actual brownies.
Oh, it was a brownie was wrapped in the paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you remember, there was a song, I think it was 1968. It was called MacArthur Park by Richard Herring.
And I'll never have that recipe.
Someone left the cake out in the rain, and it took so long to make it. I took so long to bake it, and I'll never have that recipe again.
Yeah, I remember that
And
song.
but anyway, this thing, we could hardly hold it. And we took it home. We thought, well, okay, we're going to put it in a freezer. Anyway, we're going to a break.
Hear what happened with the brownies. Hang on. Stay tuned. This is a Nancy and Mike show.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorek, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorek has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. And anyway,
This dream,
we managed to
being that hot brownie
take
home.
these brownies home.
Oh, there's more than one?
Yeah. And there were 4 actually.
It's been a while since I heard this dream.
And so anyway, what we did, we got them home and we put them in
The
the
freezer,
freezer.
because they're so hot.
And we were going to wait for an hour and then,
And eat it?
yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, an hour goes by. We take the thing out of the freezer.
Uh-huh.
It's still blazing hot. And it goes back to the scriptural. If you remember, boy, no, I can't think of where it was, where this guy put hot coals on his.
No, an angel. He went up to heaven. I don't know if it was Isaiah or whoever it was. He went up to heaven and he said, "Oh, I've done. I'm not clean enough." So the angels put hot coal in his mouth and then he took it out, and so then he was clean enough for God. Remember that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that the brownies kind of reminded us of that.
So anyway, I'm thinking, because I knew about this biblical thing with
Yeah.
the angel and the coal,
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I don't care if it
It burns you.
burns a roof of my mouth or whatever the case. So we ate these brownies, and what they did, they made us young.
Woohoo!
And Nancy was 17 and I was 26.
Yeah, those are special.
Now, when I was 26, that's when I reached my prime. When I was 26, that's when I pinned my way through the nationals. So, but there's another issue here.
Yeah.
As it relates to God. And this guy, Gustafson, Tim Gustafson, what he wanted, he wanted
he told this
evidence.
story. This guy, he's from Switzerland. His name was Jay. It wasn't Tim. Tim told the story about.
Oh, okay.
So it took place in Switzerland.
But anyway, I'm one of these guys that I want evidence.
And so that's what Jay wanted.
What God is doing, I want evidence. So if these brownies could make me 26 years old, where I was and you never leave that. You never leave that.
Yeah,
You're like
they're
that
interested.
for eternity, and you don't age. And you have these brownies, and they burn your guts out, but at least you're young again. But anyway, that
Well,
was
I thought
it.
yesterday when uh, Dutch Sheets and his brother Tim, when they were assigned to do this revival get together thing, and it was on that August
August
14th.
14th.
And so later they got insight that Iran first got their flag August 14th, 21 years ago. And the 21 was another significant number.
So
So,
what was that? 2005? That's 21 years ago.
yeah. So God is planning, God is a numbers guy, and He is a miracle creator. So we have to be ready. Things are happening. Things happening that we don't quite understand or see.
Well, it's too early to tell
Yeah,
if
last
anything
night.
came out of that
I'm sure
revival
something. I think
meeting,
it's in the works.
but maybe we'll have to wait for 21 days to find out. But anyway, who knows?
Well, I'll let you guys know if we find out.
But if we see anything,
Yeah. We listened to Dutch Sheets Give Him 15 through the YouTube. That's how we hear it. Just 5 days a week. So I'm interested what he says Monday.
yeah, and his give him 15 was actually more like give him 12 because he was getting ready for
Yeah,
this
for the meeting.
revival
This is
thing.
Friday, though.
So his give him 15 was a little shorter this
That's
week.
it.
But that's okay. They're still good. And so
So
that
the wrap up. Do you have any sports thing you can wrap up with?
I don't know. Who are the brownies playing this week?
Yeah, I want those brownies.
uh, well, one thing I do have, the Red Sox are back to their old
Yes.
ways.
It's
And
a lot of grace.
of course, nobody could do what they did. It was amazing what they
Yeah,
did.
it's pretty shocking.
And they are a little better than they were. They traded for a catcher, Adlai Rutschman from Baltimore, but he hasn't played all year. So
He's a little rusty.
he's rusty, and it's going to take him a while. They'll have him next year, maybe. Who
And
knows?
Rise, that's a good guy.
Well,
That's a Phillies.
that's a Philly
Yeah,
guy.
the Phillies got him.
And the Phillies wouldn't make the playoffs today if the season ended. So they would be Arizona would make it, and San Diego, and of course the Dodgers are going to get home field advantage. They'll clinch it tomorrow. And anyway, that's where we are. This is the end of the show, so I can't really get into anything serious because the show just ended. This has been the Nancy and Mike show, and have a great week, everybody.
Take care, guys.
This has been the Nancy and Mike Show. Tune in each week and become part of the conversation of the amazing journey of Nancy and Mike.